Now it's Radventure time. Let's kick it into action. Alright, welcome back everybody. It's me, Radventure. Today we're going to be talking about VR Troopers, another of the sort of Power Rangers inspired type shows that came out in that wave of American tokusatsu shows in the early 90s. The difference between this one, though, is that it was actually made by Saban, whereas a lot of the other shows were either different companies or just like total ripoffs just to begin with. This one has sort of a long history in its pre-production. It actually started out as a vehicle for a Jason David Frank solo show. When he had left as the Green Ranger, they knew that a lot of kids liked the actor or the character, and they just wanted something for him to do.
That's right, mate. He was going to be Cybertron and fight Grimlord and to avenge his father.
It was based on the tokusatsu show Metalder, and it had a pretty much similar beats. However, in Cybertron, it was just going to be Jason David Frank as a martial artist, of course, and kind of just transforming into Cybertron.
That's right, mate, and I think it would have been way better than this show. Jason David Frank really had the chops to be his own superhero by himself, and this would have been cool to see him just fight off a different monster every week on his own, just showing off his skills, his martial arts skills and stuff like that.
No, I mean, definitely. I think it would have been a pretty cool show. I mean, Metalder already, I've only seen a couple of episodes, but from what I've seen, it's a pretty cool show because there's just one main hero. Like, the villains get to be like, you know, they're like a bigger part of the show. There's all these different factions and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And to see Jason David Frank as Adam Steele, not Ryan Steele, but as Adam Steele, I think that would have been cool to, you know, weekly see him sort of do things on his own. And there were some supporting characters, but him as like the main hero, I think is pretty cool.
That's right, mate. And that's why I'm friends with Adam Steele. Come on in, Adam.
Oh man. Still haven't found my father. He's been missing for so long. Oh, hey, Adam Steele. Nice outfit.
Yeah, sorry, man. You know, it really sucks that my dad's been missing.
Okay, yeah, we get it. Look, I'm going to be continuing my review of VR Troopers. You know, Cybertron sounds like a cool show. Maybe I'll review that one soon. But for now, I'm going to stick to VR Troopers. So let's start off with Ryan Steele. So this is Ryan Steele, and he's reminiscing about his father who's been missing.
Will I ever be as good as you, Dad?
I'm sure you will, son.
His dad doesn't really sound very believable when he says, like, yeah, I'm sure you will, son. So it starts off with this sort of martial arts tournament between, like, with Ryan and JB. And this scene definitely seems like a holdover from when it was a pilot for Cybertron, because this is like the type of scene that like Jason David Frank would thrive in, where he's, you know, gets to show off his martial arts skills in front of an audience. And, you know, this is just like straight out of Power Rangers, really. Then we get introduced to Caitlin, as her boss calls her. She's a reporter, and he tells her,
Zictor's demolishing a historic building downtown, and he's going to build another power plant. I want you out, to cover the story.
I'm on my way. Will you call Ryan and JB for me?
Gotcha.
So then Caitlin meets up with Ryan and JB at the site of this nuclear power plant. And these people are chanting like,
No more nukes! No more nukes!
There's Caitlin.
which is kind of weird because like normally you don't call a nuclear power plant a nuke. Like, it sounds like they're protesting nuclear bombs, which is not what this is. So then we cut to Zictor's building.
Doofenshmirtz Incorporated.
Do it!
Now!
Detonation in 5,
4,
3,
2.
1.
And I love this guy Zictor. He's like this evil businessman, and he's like blowing up buildings. And they had the footage of a building blown up. Let's just get this straight. There's no reason for him to be blowing up a building in this episode other than they just had that footage and really wanted to show it.
Return to virtual reality and await further instructions.
Then he's like talking about going to virtual reality without really explaining what that is. Well, which makes sense, you know, everyone in the room should know what that means, but the audience doesn't know that yet. Then we cut back to the teens, and they're cleaning up this office for Tao, and they get a mysterious message, a mysterious like Skype call from this guy named Professor Hart, who Ryan clearly says, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Professor Hart."
I have a message from your father.
My father? But that's impossible. My father has been missing for 10 years. This has got to be some kind of mistake.
And this is crazy because, like, apparently, like, JB and Caitlin seem like they've been his friends for a while. Like, they don't seem like they're new friends. And, like, Ryan says all serious, like, "My father has been missing for 10 years. And it's just, like, I'm like, yeah, I feel like they would know that by now. Like, but it just seems weird that he makes it seem like this is the first time he's ever telling them. And then we get to see Zictor transform into Grimlord, which I think is really cool. And I love this idea of the fact that Zictor has this like human form, and then he transforms into this monstrous form, which gives them a little more freedom like to do stuff with the villain, because it's not just all Japanese footage. They have this American footage where they can make him a little more productive, and it's just kind of cool. Like, he's in this like spooky like office building that just gives off these like really spooky vibes. And yeah, you know, you just love like an evil businessman. They kind of do the similar thing in Dino Thunder later on, where Mesogog has like a human form and he's also like an evil businessman. So Ryan, Caitlin, and JB are on their way to go find Professor Hart, and they get attacked by one of Grimlord's evil minions.
There's the turn! Wait! Oh, check it out.
Yeah, it's the bridge.
Come on.
Hold on!
Wait, what? Like, why did they blow up the bridge? Because, like, it didn't really seem to stop them. And clearly, you know, they just had the footage and they wanted to use it.
We found it! Glad we took that side road.
So, anyways, they avoid the blown up bridge and they still make it to their destination. And JB's like, they see this like arch thing, and JB is like,
"Looks like some kind of portal or a gateway."
"Oh, it does? How does it look like a portal? It's just an arch. Are portals like common? What context does he have to even know what a portal would look like? Like, why is this arch all of a sudden a portal? I don't know." So they make it to Professor Hart's lab, and he's like, "What do you know about my father?" And he gives them these like VR visors that are like totally pointless, because it's basically just for them to watch a video.
Do not be alarmed. You're looking through the reality barrier, the boundary that separates our world from the other virtual world.
And it's Ryan's dad telling them all about Zictor and how he's been trying to like take over the world or whatever.
You must listen to the professor very, very carefully. Dire circumstances must have arisen for him to have brought you here. And I can only imagine that it involves Grimlord.
Oh, and he tells them about like these beings that travel between the VR world and the real world. And if they don't defeat him in the real world, they go to Battle World.
If you fail to defeat them in our world, you will be taken to the battle grid.
Hey! Huh?
Whoa, was that the Power Rangers? So Professor Hart gives them their transformation devices, and they become the VR Troopers.
Trooper transform!
We are VR!
And so, like, actually, what even is the professor's deal? Like, is he just in the screen? Is he stuck in virtual reality? Is he AI? Like, they never fully explain that, or at least not in this episode. Maybe maybe later on they do, but from what it's just kind of vague. Like, he just exists in the screen. It's fine. And here's where we get to see that this is actually two shows put together, because Ryan is fighting one set of monsters, and then JB and Caitlin are fighting another set of monsters, and it's always like in different scenes because they're two shows put together. So JB is over here fighting this like Mechanicong knockoff, and he pulls out this lightsaber thing.
I think George Lucas gonna sue somebody.
And then Ryan gets knocked out and dun dun dun, cliffhanger. Is Ryan gonna be okay? He is gonna be okay. Caitlin and JB find where he is and they go off to drive after him. And then all of a sudden the car starts flying. Flying car, that's pretty cool. It would be cool to see this car and the rad bug sort of doing a little, just flying together, doing some sort of mission. So luckily they save Ryan and they take him back to the lab and get him all healed up. Then we cut to Zictor in his evil lab again.
Rather like a game, isn't it, Juliet? What's the name of this game? I win.
I win.
What do you mean you win? I had a hand just like that before. I didn't win.
Because I win.
This is bull.
So then Professor Hart tries to tell him about like what a threat Zictor is or Grimlord is. And again, the VR sets are useless. They just put it on to show them clips of the other monsters. And they get like, oh no, they get like scared that the monsters are going to attack them. But it's just like, okay, like they should know by now that it's just VR supposedly and it's not real. And it's really just a video, so whatever. Jeb messes with the contraption.
Jeb, are you okay?
Yeah, sure. I'm just fine, Ryan.
He just talked.
Okay, a talking dog, I'm in. Again, like, this is one of the things that, like, when I first saw the show, like, at the bit, I was just like, there's a talking dog. Like, Power Rangers is kind of goofy, but this is, like, too goofy. But I found out later that there actually is a talking dog in Metalder, but, I mean, it's not as ridiculous as this one. He's not like hey, yeah, man, it's not like the smooth talker. So there is precedent for why they got this idea. So Grimlord tries to plan another attack.
We shall attack with such numbers and from so many directions that nothing can stop us. Are you ready, my virtual warriors, to face the enemy?
So they're not real warriors, they're just virtually warriors? Okay, got it. So once Grimlord attacks, the VR troopers have to split up, of course, because they can't be in the same fight together.
Oh, this is so cool! Ryan, you must go to Grimlord's military base and disable it. This will stop any more troops from advancing.
Whoa! Take on all those goons by myself?
Ryan gets this cool mech that he gets to fly around in and attack the attacking robot army. And then JB and Caitlin have to go like I don't know, go disarm this bomb or something like that.
Over here, look! All the conduits and pipelines converge on this point.
That must be the main power core.
This explosive ought to blow up user 2.
And Caitlin and JB like accomplish something.
Go, Ryan. You handle that like a pro.
All right, JB.
Yeah, high five.
The hell was that? It's like the most awkward high five I've ever seen. Like, why was it so slow? Like, I can assume that this wasn't a high five in the original footage, so they had to like slow it down in some weird way, or I don't know. It's just weird. And then I guess Jeb is watching all the action happening, and then his like eyeballs like pop out in like this cartoony fashion. But you know what? I'm gonna allow it because they did say that the machine has like weird effects on living creatures, and so maybe the fact that he can make his eyeballs pop out is one of those weird effects. So they defeat the armies and they go back to the lab.
So, what now, Professor?
Yeah, I mean, are we done with this Grimlord guy for good?
Are we done with this Grimlord guy for good?
Yeah, Grimlord is not gonna give up.
I have a feeling we're gonna be in for a long fight.
So yeah, that was VR Troopers, and you know, it was a pretty good story. Again, I'm sorry that Adam Steele, we never really got to see your story pan out. I'll never find my father now. Yeah, and unfortunately we never got to see the rest of your adventures, but we did get to see Ryan Steele's adventures, and that's why I brought Ryan here today to help us out. Ryan, I am Ryan Steele, and I am here to make your day. And as the VR Trooper, I think I can help you. I know how much you wanted to be Cybertron, and so I think I can split my power between us, and we can both share the power. Are you ready? Yeah, that'd be great. And this is awesome. Now I might be able to actually find my father. And I think there's one more thing that I think would suit you. Say, Cyber Shield. Cyber Shield.
Oh man, this is awesome. It's the least I can do. That shield looks good on you for some reason. Let's team up and go find your father. Sounds great.
All right, great. I'm glad you guys were able to resolve that. Well, anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Please make sure that you do like this video and subscribe. Like I said before, this is a new channel. We're still trying to get as many followers as possible. So every like, every subscribe helps out. And so yeah, we'll see y'all next time.